Ladies and gentlemen, I am seeing a different smoke from what this country is talking about. Immediately, William Ruto reshuffled the cabinet. I am seeing a different smoke. Kindly subscribe to our channel. I want to tell you earlier, from the very first minute of this podcast, reshuffling of Moses Kuria and the move of those of Alice Wahome was a smokescreen. Is it a surprise that Moses Kuria has been reshuffled? No. This country has been asking William Ruto since 14th September, after the price of fuel hiked, for Moses Kuria to be shown the door. I am not surprised, and that was a smokescreen. The real deal in the cabinet reshuffle is Musalia Mudavadi being given the foreign affairs CS. Hapo ndio kuna mambo. Kindly subscribe to our channel, and let me remind you about our October project. Edwin Mwiti Mwenda. This boy got C+, the last KCSE, and was supposed to join Kenyan University, but because of financial challenges, it had not been affected. So we took it upon ourselves after they reached out as team ball to take him to school on Friday. We need to cover a bit of the budget and first term fee and also other things he needs while in school. So we're going to do that here, and that's why we are actually doing 100 shillings challenge to help on that. Kindly. Thank you very much for those who have been sharing, those who have been saying, you know, if you have a trouser, you have a phone, you want to do, this is our project, I'll be so much grateful. Just contact me there. And of course, I've also shared the number. It appears Kevin Olo. And I believe that we are all going to be blessed when we achieve this. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe for those who are understanding for the first time, I need to tell you what has happened. I've just seen that, that email. I've just seen the email here. Before I tell you who has been chased, who has been reshuffled, I want to make some two observations. Is it a coincidence that the State House team decided to release that information at the prime time 9 p.m. at 9? It's not a coincidence. The objective, they wanted to get the attention of the country. I want to believe that this memo was not typed, if not even today. You know, there was a cabinet meeting yesterday. It could have even been there before, and it was communicated to them that so and so you're going to move here, so and so you're going to move here. I don't think it came by surprise. So, but they chose to communicate this today at 9 p.m. because they wanted coverage. Remember, at the same time, there is Raila Odinga was having interview at KTN News. So some also wanted to divert the attention of the country from that. But of course, that is just a sidebar. Let me just give you, I just want to give you the cabinet changes. Musalia Mudavadi, Office of Prime Cabinet Secretary, takes over the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry and Diaspora Affairs. Rebecca Miano is replacing Moses Kuria in the Ministry of Trade and Investment. And Alice Wahome has been moved from Water to the Ministry of Lands. Penina Malonza is being moved from the Ministry of Tourism to the East African Community and ASAL. Zakaria Mwangi Njeru, who was in Lands, has been taken to Water. This Moses Kuria ministry is one that has just been created. So it also shows you what exactly is going on. But then let me tell you, the reason why Moses Kuria has been moved is not because of kuongea mbaya. Moses Kuria has been moved because he's been running that Ministry of Trade and Investment one-man show. Why? He's been launching industrial parks. And you know, William Ruto will always want visibility. Can you try to imagine that industrial parks have been launched 8 counties and William Ruto has failed to attend even one? He's not been invited in one. I think you will see now the minister who is going, the CS who is being taken there is not a politician. So you will see her maybe involving Ruto and Rigathi in those events. There is a likelihood that Moses Kuria has actually been throwing himself in the political ring, and that has made it very difficult. By the way, even the altercation between him and Rigathi Gachagua, excuse, the altercation between him and Rigathi Gachagua has been on politics. Now, I just want to say something. Why am I saying that Musalia Mudavadi moved to that Ministry of Foreign Affairs being given to Musalia Mudavadi is very suspicious? Let me tell you, this cabinet reshuffle happened today, and the very day bipartisan talks team are retreating to write a report, and one of the points of contention in this country has been on an entrenchment of the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary in the Constitution. So the operation of that office is actually a discussion that is going on. You know, it is a discussion that has been going on. Number two, I'm saying it's been very suspicious because you will realize that it seems that Mudavadi had been working in that ministry with Alfred Mutua. Recently he was in Burundi, and he's been to Burundi twice representing William Ruto. He's been to Nigeria representing William Ruto during the inauguration of a Nigerian president. He was also in Zimbabwe representing Ruto, and has been making foreign visits, especially in Africa here, representing William Ruto. And so it is very clear that even behind the scene was Mudavadi office very idle. Now that because he was flying out of the country to the African countries quite more often, and at one point people were even asking that why is it that Rigathi is not going? So what happened initially? The person who used to meet, there is Moses Kuria have really met a couple of African presidents, even the Egyptian president representing William Ruto. But then after that we saw Mudavadi. But the CS who is in charge of foreign affairs is Alfred Mutua. Now I want to say it is not a coincidence. The real deal is on the reason why Ruto has taken it to Mudavadi. I look at it two ways. That ministry has been elevated. Yes. The ministry has been elevated close to William Ruto. When that ministry is under Mutua and when it is under Mudavadi, I think when Mudavadi, it's almost getting to State House. If that ministry was heading to State House, he go around in his plate. It's almost getting to State House. And I can tell you that from what I am seeing, it's not now going to be a state, it's not going to be a full-fledged ministry. In fact, it's a ministry that is going to be under Musalia Mudavadi. It is very clear that William Ruto wants that ministry to be closer on his watch, for his watch. Number one of the things happening here is the mega foreign deals coming. There seems to be shifting goalposts. We have US government planning to inject for 14 billion after us accepting to go to Haiti, send our troops to Haiti. That is money coming. The number of multinational deals that are being signed between government of Kenya and the US and the UK and other countries, China and so on. I tend to see that William Ruto wants those deals to flow through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and because of trust level, he's putting Musalia Mudavadi there. So that it will not leak. You need to understand that the caliber of politician Mudavadi, you cannot compare with Alfred Mutua. So it's about changing. Because I know someone might interpret, is it about Mudavadi getting it or or Mutua losing. If it is Mutua losing, then that means it will still just be given to someone else. Now, there is also another point. If Mudavadi is being given a whole ministry, then what does it show? It also shows that maybe that ministry was very idle. That office was very idle. The office of Prime Cabinet Secretary probably was very idle. But this is it. Where are they putting the Ministry of Foreign Affairs under that office while the discussion of putting it in the constitution is going on? I see somewhere that William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza team wants to tone down the clamor to put the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary in the constitution, and by just giving it a ministry. So what you might even realize, because I remember Opiyo Wandayi was asking Malala why they are not emphatic about the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary. I wish I got it. You need to get that soundbite.
I was ask you, why are you not as emphatic on the position of yes, that even this document which I have now refused to, I will not now refer to. You seem not to be emphasizing the creation of that office, contrary to the result of the fears. Relax. Of the fears that from some quarters that on the power and influence of the office of the deputy president. And
he was asking why they were not emphatic about it, and they just dilly-dalled around it. It's a very clear sign that office is just going to be given a ministry. So from those reports, they might even demand that it to be dropped, that office to be dropped, creation of that office to be dropped, so that it just be the way it is. It will be put under a ministry. That's also one observation I am making. And by the way, that's my point line. Number 3, Ruto wants to fly with Mudavadi out of this country. Yes. Why? When he's flying with Mudavadi, they will gel more, and I think the pendulum will swing. There are more photos there is photo of Ruto Mudavadi in UK or US. You cannot compare the photo of Ruto and Rigathi talking to M-Pesa Bishop Sinyeri. There is something about elevating that. And another rogue card has emerged, someone saying that Mudavadi, that ministry is normally a ministry for you to fly out of the country. So Mudavadi is going to be has technically been put on the plane, and his work will just be moving from one country to the other, and is going to lose touch with the ground. So the beneficiary in this could be Moses Masika Wetangula. Because when Mudavadi is put on plane, and he will find himself almost going to different places, it might be difficult to balance that with the politics. Look at Mutua. You know, Mutua has never been doing politics, even though Mutua is not the person that will like to politic. So one of the beneficiaries, or one of the forces that could have been behind it, would be to put Mudavadi in the plane, then let the Ford Kenya guy Moses Wetangula run the Western politics. There is more than what catches the eye. My attention is still drawn to this, but then of course tomorrow we will look at the ambassadors into this. But then something keen, I have realized in the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, there is still the Zebra ticket has been maintained. The CS is a Kalenjeru and the PS is still a Kalenjin. And remember, there was a fight, but both Wahome and Kiprono Rono have all been moved. Kiprono has been taken to the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Minister for Agriculture is Mithika Linturi, so there is another zebra ticket to go to agriculture. Then Alice Wahome has been taken to the Ministry of Land. So that's my take. I want you to let's get this. What are you seeing in that move? Thank you.